An Iranian-American journalist who covers U.S.-Iran relations has found herself being targeted online.
This woman, who lives in comfort in the U.S. and enjoys all the privileges a free society affords her, has misused her privilege of freedom of expression by supporting the corrupt terrorists supporting the Islamic Republic of Iran that oppresses and murders its own citizens, particularly its women. She was terminated when her true mission became known. Freedom-loving people of Iran look at this treasonous criminal type of a person as a spy and an enemy of the people.
Now, the person calling her a treasonous criminal works for Voice of America Persian. That's a U.S. government-funded outlet directed at Iranians. It's overseen by the Broadcast Board of Governors. Shrill words for a U.S. government employee, right? Now, the irony is that Mortazavi is herself a former Voice of America Persian reporter. But this points to a bigger issue, which is that in recent years, Voice of America Persian has shifted its tone very dramatically, to the point that its hosts are now attacking those who don't support current policy toward Iran. In 2017, the Broadcast Board chairman asked the conservative think tank Foreign Policy Council to review the government-funded programs directed at Iran. They concluded that U.S. government broadcasts were overly sympathetic to the Iran nuclear deal and the preceding negotiations that took place in 2015.
Significant coverage of the state of U.S.-Iranian relations reflected the mistaken notion that the Iranian regime is now friendlier to the United States.
Later, the Senate Appropriations Committee passed legislation giving the Broadcasting Board a green light to counter Iranian influence.
The Secretary of State, in consultation with the heads of other relevant federal agencies, including Broadcasting Board of Governors, shall coordinate Iran counter-influence programs funded by the Act. Such programs should counter the false assertions made by the government of Iran against the United States and other democratic countries, describe the support such government provides to terrorist proxies, and assess and describe the impact the support to such proxies causes to the people of Syria, Yemen, and other areas where they operate.
Since that time, Voice of America Persian has shifted from being a vehicle for presenting an American perspective to Iranians in perhaps a somewhat even-handed way to apparently being a vehicle for straight-up anti-government agitation.
Iran is another example. It's a country that never really made the key decision.
The Iranian regime was spending a ton of money on its nuclear program and wanted to halt that. A noble objective, a good goal, a worthy one. But the threat that Iran presents is so much greater than that.
Well, let's not forget Iran, too, where China has been a major purchaser of Iranian oil.
Voice of America insists that it is not highly partisan and describes itself as free and open.
All Voice of America journalists, be it federal government employees or contractors, are expected to adhere to Voice of America's social media policy, as delineated clearly in its Best Practices Guide. Voice of America pursues its mission by producing accurate, balanced, and comprehensive reporting, programming, as well as online and social media content for a global audience, particularly for those who are denied access to open and free media.